This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, 3 sisters from one family graduate from Otago Polytechnic on the same day in unrelated fields of study. A week on since flooding closed its premises, the lake bar was reopened for business yesterday afternoon. And Balclusa's embattled Telford Polytechnic began the year under threat of closure, but has risen like a phoenix from the ashes. Talo Falava, kia ora, good evening, I'm Daryl Baser. Despite training for completely different occupations, as a massage therapist, a builder and a nurse, tertiary studies have been a family affair for 3 Wingatui sisters. The family story taking an unusual twist when all 3 sisters graduate from Otago Polytechnic today. Preparing to march to celebrate graduating from Otago Polytechnic. Somewhere amongst this throng of students and supporters are 3 sisters, twins Leonie and Takawa, with their sister Melina, who are all graduating today.
Mum and Dad are busy pretty much all day with the ceremony, so yeah, we've got the nursing one in the morning, and then we'll do the walk, the parade, and then Takawa ceremony.
Despite the pressures, the sisters have also kept fit. Leonie and Takawa represent Otago in athletics, while Melina plays club netball for the harbour team. Melina says the siblings have shared common interests since their school days.
Quite similar interests in high school, but yeah, just took probably a different route and getting to that point.
Takawa graduated with a carpentry certificate at the 12:30pm ceremony. Then at the 3:30pm ceremony, Leonie received a New Zealand diploma in massage therapy, and Melina graduated with a Bachelor of Nursing degree. Melina says the Palmer family were hoping for fine weather following today's parade.
And then we're just having a family barbecue in the evening, and then on Sunday we'll just have a family lunch as well.
After graduating and their busy weekend, the sisters are set to return to their separate lives, as their futures are all heading in different directions.
Don't have a job, but I'm looking to apply for police college and will work full-time for a year or 2 before I go there.
I've been offered a job at Christchurch Hospital, so yeah, as long as I get my registration tomorrow, I'll be going off to Christchurch.
Yeah, and I've been working for Robinson and Grillett building for about 7 months now, and so I'll just continue working for them.
More than 1,500 people also graduated in person or in absentia from the Polytechnic at 2 ceremonies. In Dunedin, The South Today. The annual Wool On event will need to keep searching for funding for the event's controversial move from Alexandra to Cromwell, after the Cromwell Community Board voted to decline any funding for the Wool On Fashion Awards. The Wool On Committee asked for almost $35,000 toward the event. A report to the Cromwell Community Board said there's a level of community concern about the plans to move the event from Alexandra to Cromwell. The board decided not to fund any money towards next year's event, which was planned to be moved from Alexandra to the Highland Motorsport Park. Wool On chairwoman Victoria Ravenscroft says it's too early to say what the next steps are, but they're disappointed by the decision. After a week with a flooded Lake Wanaka lapping at its doorstep, the lake bar was finally reopened for business yesterday afternoon. The bar is just one of several Wanaka businesses which lost about a week's trading due to the threat of flooding and a shut-down sewage system.
Packing up his cleaning hose, Lake Bar owner Peter Byrne was glad to have his normally busy premises back open yesterday. The bar was shut for a week after Lake Wanaka spilled over into the township following heavy rains. Byrne was away on holiday and came back to find the staff had already prepared for the worst.
Yeah, we arrived back on Thursday, which is always part of the plan. Staff had already evacuated a lot of the stock and were sort of getting ready for that imminent flooding.
His is just one of several businesses which closed due to the threat of flooding, plus the shutdown of the sewage system. While the bar itself managed to avoid water damage, its storage areas did encounter minor flooding.
Whilst we didn't physically get flooded up here at this level, our chillers and freezers are all downstairs, so there's been a little bit of water through those. We've still got a lot of leaching of water. We obviously had no sewerage services, so trading was out of the question.
It's been a busy week cleaning up and reorganising stock, which had to be taken up to higher ground, but now the outdoor area is clear of debris and the sun umbrellas are back up.
Relieved to say that we're back up and running now, because a week ago we didn't know if it was going to be a week away or a month away before we could get going. If that had flooded over the barriers and safety walls that they had, then it would be a different kettle of fish for us. The
levels of Lake Wakatipu and Wanaka are still dropping, and nearly all the roads in the district are open. But the Queenstown Lakes District Council are keeping a close eye on the weather, as more rain is expected. In Wanaka, the South Today.
Dunedin has joined Australia and New Zealand's bid to host the 2023 FIFA Women's Soccer World Cup. If the bid is successful, Dunedin could host several games during the tournament, with other matches set for different cities around Australia and New Zealand. Enterprise Dunedin Director John Christie says hosting the event could have significant benefits for Dunedin, including a ballpark economic impact of around $10 million. Christie says it's also an opportunity to showcase women's international sports in the city. Balclutha's embattled Telford Polytechnic began the year under the threat of closure, but has risen like a phoenix from the ashes. At yesterday's graduation ceremony, the head of the Southern Institute of Technology says things are looking even brighter for next year. Proudly marching to celebrate their year of achievements and being closely followed by a flotilla of farm machinery. Telford Polytechnic graduates heard the future of the campus is looking up following a tough year.
It's been wonderful to get Telford back on track again, and we're incredibly indebted to the staff who have put an enormous effort in. It was late notice when we were able to confirm that Telford would be operating this year.
During the 2019 graduation ceremony, Southern Institute of Technology Chief Executive Penny Simmons spoke of the multi-million-dollar plans for the future of the Balclutha Farming Industry Training Institute.
So we're really pleased that we've got a good level of funding locked in to be able to do the upgrades that we need to, some of the deferred maintenance for Telford campus, so equipment, facilities, new programs, marketing, particularly both in New Zealand and overseas.
Simmons says SIT is planning to spend $6 million over the next couple of years on Telford, with the aim of getting plenty of students graduating and out into the primary sector. A total of 36 students undertook the traditional graduating classes walk down Balclutha's main street, and Telford is hoping to have more students graduating in 2020. In Balclutha, the South Today. Still to come on the South Today, an Oamaru reporter gets to splash test a diving board, and we celebrate a Dunedin woman's 105th birthday. See you after the break.
Hi there, it's that time of year again, and we're proud to bring you the coverage of the Santa Parade, starring me and lots of others. Brought to you by the good people at Alex Campbell Menswear.
Merry Christmas everyone. Have a happy and safe new year from everyone at Garador Dunedin.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, welcome back to Alex Campbell Menswear. Have we got a super deal for you? For the entire month of December, right up to the 31st, we have 25% off the lot. All our menswear, all the latest, newest, freshest summer fashion and their everyday essentials are 25% off.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So from all of us at Alex Campbell's 3 stores, we wish you a merry, thrifty Christmas and a fashionable new year.
Mana Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
It's that time of year when we all spend time with our family and friends. Please enjoy Christmas, but keep an eye out for the people who are struggling and may need a helping hand. My office closes on the 20th of December, opens on the 13th of January. Have a great summer, a great Christmas.
In my young life, I've learned how to accept Christmas is a great time for all the family and friends to get together. There's no harm in indulging in a little bit of alcohol and food. What we've got to realise is you need to moderate in everything you do in life, so we don't over-excess anything to create problems in your life. So I wish you a great Happy New Year and a prosperous 2020.
No mai no, welcome back. It's been more than 20 years of disappointment for the people of Oamaru who want to make a splash at their local pool. But from tomorrow, the Waitaki Aquatic Centre's new diving board will be open for business. And Otago Daily Times reporter Daniel Birchfield was given the honour of being the first person to leap off the platform in more than 2 decades.
It takes a brave man to step up where no man has been in at least 20 years. But that's exactly what Otago Daily Times North Otago reporter Daniel Birchfield did when he volunteered to be the first person to launch themselves off the diving platform at the Waitaki Aquatic Centre since 1999.
There used to be a diving platform here which got shut a while back for reasons which my father-in-law tells me were because the platform was too close to the roof and people could jump off and actually touch the roof.
Aquatic Centre manager Matthew Layton says the reason for the platform being out of bounds was down to simple miscalculation.
So back in 1999-2000 when the pool was open, they had a 3-metre springboard board on the 3-metre platform. Unfortunately, when the place was built, they didn't allow for a low roof, so after a couple of months of use it was taken out and the existing platform was left, and it has been sitting there for almost 20 odd years being unused.
He says after nearly 2 decades of being unused, there is a simple reason for reinstating the diving board.
As a platform, we were just looking for a way of utilising what was already there. Also, we were talking with our customers, and our customers were saying they wanted that wow factor and something extra to do. So as part of our existing board and our Tarzan swings and our inflatables, we felt it was another good activity that we could add to give, put smiles on users' faces.
Birchfield says the diving board is a great addition to the Aquatic Centre and everyone should give it a go.
Yeah, it was great fun. It's cool. Yeah. It's cool. Anyone who is keen should definitely give it a crack at. It's great fun.
The public will get their first opportunity to leap off the new attraction when it opens tomorrow. In Oamaru, the South Today.
One of Dunedin's oldest residents celebrated her 105th birthday this week. Dawn Ibbotson was born in Gore in 1914 and marked her birthday with a family reunion, which saw about 20 people coming from around New Zealand.
105-year-old Dawn Ibbotson has only just moved into the Yvette Williams retirement village after breaking her ankle a few weeks ago. Prior to then, she had been living independently, with her children getting together for her birthday every December.
And of course none of us are in Dunedin, so we've all gathered.
It's a special chance for a family reunion.
Yeah, yes. And it has been, for goodness knows how many birthdays we've all been gathering for family reunions. You're very good at getting us together, aren't you?
One of her sons is Marlborough winemaker Neil Ibbotson, who designed the labels for St Clair Vineyard's Dawn sparkling wine, which was launched 5 years ago to mark his mother's 100th birthday.
But on that, that's a special label for your 105th, so it's got Dawn 105 on it. what we want to do now, it's a competition and you're the person in the competition, and we want to change that to 106, 107.
Born in Gore in 1914, she was a member of many community, church and educational groups, and awarded a CBE in 1977 and a commemoration medal in 1990. Her recently broken ankle has resulted in her first time in a home for the elderly.
So unfortunately then she's been in hospital and then has come here for... Hopefully it's going to heal, but we're having to wait and see.
And her son Neil describes his mother as still going strong and still not out.
It's one of the new famous quotes when I said to you, how are you feeling today? And you said, I'm feeling like I'm 104 yesterday. Today I'm feeling like I'm 105. But for Dawn, that's a very positive statement. Yeah.
Dawn's 150th birthday was celebrated with a family reunion, seeing family and friends coming from around New Zealand to mark the occasion. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And after the break on the South Today, we continue our look back at the year in news and look at the weekend's weather. Will it be better for barbecues or brollies? Find out after the break.
In my young life, I've learned how to accept Christmas is a great time for all the family and friends to get together. There's no harm in indulging in a little bit of alcohol and food. What we've got to realise is you need to moderate in everything you do in life, so we don't over-excess anything to create problems in your life. So I wish you a great Happy New Year and a prosperous 2020.
Merry Christmas everyone. Have a happy and safe new year from everyone at Garador Dunedin.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
It's that time of year when we all spend time with our family and friends. Please enjoy Christmas, but keep an eye out for the people who are struggling and may need a helping hand. My office closes on the 20th of December, opens on the 13th of January. Have a great summer, a great Christmas.
Lana Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full-paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
Hi there, it's that time of year again, and we're proud to bring you the coverage of the Santa Parade, starring me and lots of others. Brought to you by the good people at Alex Campbell Menswear.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر.
Thanks for staying with us. In the lead up to Christmas, we're taking a look back at the news highlights over the last 12 months. July saw the opening of an exhibition of filmmaker James Cameron's explorations of the deep ocean. And we had the first recorded visit by a crab-eater seal to Dunedin Beach, which intrigued marine experts.
Thousands of people had the chance to admire glowing displays installed in the middle of Dunedin's George Street. The display of light installations by Angus Muir proved a hit with the crowd, the sculptures having been displayed all over the world, including Jerusalem, Singapore and Auckland. The partial road closure was the first of many City Council experiments to shift the balance of the area in favour of pedestrians. A $7.5 million funding boost was announced to protect southern lakes by doubling the funding for control of lakeweed.
An ounce of prevention now is worth a tonne of cure. There's been a huge amount of work that LINZ and Boffa have been doing, informed by NIWA's research, to actually look at how we expand this control program.
An exhibition of filmmaker James Cameron's deep-sea explorations opened at the Otago Museum.
I'm really hopeful that some of the people who come through and see the Cameron exhibition, and they see the associated NIWA exhibition about New Zealand's work exploring the Southern Ocean, I hope the young people who come and see that will get really fired up and really excited.
As part of the exhibition, the fisheries research vessel Tangaroa visited Dunedin and held a public open day. The Tangaroa is a fully spec'd ocean-going ship. 2 years ago, the crew collected the deepest ever sediment sample from the bottom of the ocean, and she's also capable of handling the wild seas of the Southern Ocean.
We went down to about 77 degrees south, which is almost down as far as the McMurdo and Scott bases, and it's quite a thrilling adventure to get down to Antarctica in the first place through the Southern Ocean, which is notorious. And then once you're down amongst the ice, it's a very surreal environment and quite a special place to be.
And a visitor from the south relaxed on Dunedin's St Clair Beach, the first ever recording of a crab-eater seal to Otago shores. The seal looks a lot like a leopard seal, except it lacks the leopard seal's rugby ball-shaped head.
You can tell because of that pointy snout on its face. We came here thinking it could be a leopard seal because they look really similar with the spots, but the head shape is very different, so that's how we know.
Dunedin's PBT transport depot was cleared of toxic chemicals after a spill of concentrated and highly corrosive acid.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Despite training in completely different occupations as a massage therapist, builder and a nurse, three Wingatui sisters have found tertiary study a family affair. After a week with a flooded Lake Wanaka lapping at its doorstep, the lake bar has reopened for business yesterday afternoon. And Vaucluse's embattled Telford Polytechnic began the year under the threat of closure, but has risen like a phoenix from the ashes. Time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. We welcome Mr. Hayden Meikle. G'day, mate.
Good evening, Daryl. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Excellent. Very, very good. It's going to be an interesting night, I think, and a very interesting Saturday paper. We start with big news out of the University of Otago, which of course has always got some big news for us, but this one's another biggie. They've earmarked nearly $140 million for their next major capital project, which is a new health sciences precinct. So massive news at a time obviously in Dunedin where the university and the new hospital and all sorts of projects are going ahead. There's yet another one to come, so we'll find out more on that in tomorrow's paper. And graduation. So graduation season, we've seen lots of these fine young things and some not so young things walking down the streets and ready to head off into the world. Got a couple of cracking graduation stories, really interesting human sort of stories, the sort of things people love. People have overcome interesting things. So really looking forward to seeing our graduation spread tomorrow. E-scooters have become the word of the year, really, hasn't it?
Very much so.
We've got some of the latest numbers around how many e-scooter riders are being admitted to hospital, and it is pretty high. I think it will surprise some people. Obviously, a lot of people using scooters, so that naturally leads to a higher incidence of injury, but nevertheless, that'll create some interest, I think. And huge sports news today, which is great. Dunedin's going to be sort of part of the New Zealand bid to host the Women's World Football Cup, which is a massive, massive deal globally. And the thought of, New Zealand, let alone Dunedin, our city, being a part of that, a massive global sporting event, is really, really exciting. So we'll have the latest on that bid tomorrow, and I guess it's time for not just football fans, but sports fans and people who love seeing big events in Dunedin to get behind it and get excited. Let's get some of this world-class football in Dunedin. So that's it, Daryl. A bunch of other interesting stuff. Should be a good paper.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. All that and more in the big Saturday Otago Daily Times. Time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, yesterday was a fabulous day to be at Dunedin's St Clair Beach. Apparently today, not quite so much. Looking at the situation, a fine Saturday in store for most, but look out for rain and colder westerly winds developing over the weekend. Expect cold southwesterlies next week. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are set for cloudy skies with 18 degrees. And across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can also expect a few clouds and 23 degrees. Heading down to Canterbury, you'll have some cloudy skies across this area. Kaikoura 18 degrees, Christchurch you're due for 19, and Ashburton you're set to be the warmest of this bunch on 21. And to the southern towns, Balclutha, the Catlins, Lumsden and Gore can all expect freshening northwesterlies, cloud increasing and 17 degrees. Heading across to central Otago, Wanaka and Queenstown you're set for moderate northwesterlies, clear skies and 20 for Alexandra. Alexandra you're also fine with moderate westerlies and 21. Te Anau you should prepare for fresh southwesterlies, rain and 15 degrees. Heading to the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru you can expect moderate northeasterlies, clear skies and 17 degrees. Twizel and Omarama should plan for moderate northwesterlies, fine and 21. In Dunedin, mostly fine tonight, looking at an overnight low of 11. Fine and sunny at first tomorrow with light winds, but a few showers may develop late morning, becoming fresh and breezy late in the day. A high of 15 and a low of 13. Cloudy with periods of rain on Sunday with colder southerly winds developing, a high of 13 and a low of 9. And in Invercargill, fine tonight with an overnight low of 11, sunny periods at first tomorrow but cloud increases bringing rain late in the day, a high of 16 and a low of 12. Rain eases to showers on Sunday with fresh gusty cold southerly winds decreasing, a high of 9, a high of 12 and a low of 9. And that's all from the South Today team for this Friday and indeed for the week. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening and restful weekend. If you're Christmas shopping, think of those less fortunate and be nice to people working in retail and service industries. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.